So, the statue protection section of the monastery, there are 3 waves of rockets with 2 breaks in between, during which you can relax and get ammo, run around. Using this knowledge makes beating the level extremely easy, makes getting the Overseer trophy a lot easier also. All 3 spawn waves are signaled by scripted dialogue from the characters, which also shows up as subtitles if you have the subtitles turned on. Which really makes things easy to show. I'm going to show you a video on crushing of explaining exactly what happens, but before that I'm going to point out the 6 locations where rocket guys spawn. If you count from left to right from coming out of the church, it helps to understand what I'm saying when I say like number 1, number 2. So that's the number 1 spot where rocket guys will spawn. This spot right here is number 2. The number 3 spot is right there. And looking at the library, the number 4 spot is that lower side. The top of the library is number 5, and the right hand side is number 6. Like I said, if you just count from left to right from the church, there's a tall tower where snipers spawn, but we do not assign that a number because rocket guys do not spawn there, only snipers. Snipers will also spawn at the number 1, number 2, and number 3 sections, which is very helpful to know because if a sniper spawns there and you don't kill him, he'll block this section so a rocket guy doesn't spawn. Another important thing to point out about the number 4 spot is that sometimes the guys will fire rockets from there and sometimes they fire them from there. And once again, there's a number 5 spot and there's a number 6 spot. So now that we've got that all out of the way, you should know what I'm talking about. The first wave spawns when Nate says rockets, and it includes only 6 rockets. Okay, so you want to kill them and no one else. Now I'm going to speed this up a little bit because this is a long video to begin with, but obviously when you first come out, you have to kill about like 7 of these ground units before it spawns that first wave, regardless. So I'm going to show us going through this, and you'll see I've got my subtitles on. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see when Nate says rockets, and that's also coincidentally when the statue protection icon first pops up at the top of the screen, showing how much life the statue has. And what happens is the first rocket guy will always spawn on the number 5 position every single time. That's like the only thing that's really predictable is that. And so we're sitting here counting these 6 guys, and then when the snipers come out, we know that we're in a break, and I'm going to show you that. But first I'm going to show you this is what happens when you die. You restart right here at that first wave. So once again, the first guy will always show up in the number 5 spot. I'm watching 5 and 6. Since it's 6 spots where rocket guys spawn from and 3 of us, it's nice to just assign 2 spots to each player. And now the snipers come out, so we're in the break. So if you only kill those 6 rockets, then once they're dead, you'll have your first break. And Nate will say, I need more time. And you'll see that in the subtitles. Okay, the snipers and the Pac-Man, the brute, they will spawn during this break. Their break will end when you kill 3 or 4 people. It should be 4, but sometimes it's only 3. Sometimes I think the enemies like kill themselves by trying to throw grenades. So we're in this break right now. When I say break, what I mean is that no rockets are spawning. If you notice that, nobody is shooting at the statue. We're in a complete reprieve. And so the Pac-Man spawns, and you want to kill him. Because like I said, when you kill 3 or 4 people, you're going to spawn the next wave of rockets. So obviously the Pac-Man needs to be one of the people that you kill. That would be very helpful and effective. And that's one thing that makes this section a lot harder for a lot of people who don't understand these spawn waves, is that if they're killing normal enemies, once they've killed 3 or 4 people, all of a sudden you got the next wave of rocket guys that spawn, and so you got people shooting at a statue, and you still got the brute marching around murdering everybody with his Pac-80 and throwing triple grenades at everybody. So there's a Pac-80 over here. I like to come over here and get that. And I was actually shooting with the M9 by accident a minute ago because I'm a moron, did not realize that I had not picked up the Pac-80. So anyway, we're in this break, and I'm actually going to speed up the gameplay right here because we spend like several minutes just running around getting ammo and stuff, because we know that now that the Pac has been killed, he's the first kill of the 3 or 4 that we need. So we know that once we kill 3 or 4 more people, we're spawning another wave of rocket guys. And so we're just completely prepared for that. And the next wave is going to spawn when Elena says, "Hurry up, Nate." So you'll see that pop up at the bottom. And if you see where I keep hitting select to bring up the kill count in the top right corner, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the total kills, and that is really helpful to making a mental note of exactly how many people we have left to kill, because it's team kills, you know what I'm saying? It's not individual. Once the three of us as a team kill 3 or 4 people, we're spawning the next wave. And so communication is very helpful for this section when you want to manipulate things, which, you know, communication is helpful for any co-op adventure that you're trying to accomplish. And I'm having trouble with my commentary right now because my laptop is lagging as I'm recording this, so I don't know what point in the video I'm looking at. But I do want to point out that if you... Oh, here we go. Okay, after you've killed 3 or 4 people, the next wave spawns. Lena says, "Hurry up, Nate." And this second wave only has 3 rocket guys. Okay, so back the video up here. You see that guy in the number 3 spot that drunk kills, and you see at the bottom of the screen, "Hurry up, Nate." So now we got 3 rocket guys spawning. So the first one spawns over here on 6, just so happens. And you know, don't take these spawn locations or the order that they spawn in to be the way it's going to happen every time. And I think Abstract had a heavy armored guy on one of his windows, so he activated army of 3, and I had the 3rd guy spawn right there on 6. So we're in another break now already. It was pretty quick. And you see me checking the kill count once again just to double check, and I'm looking around, and we can take another break, because after you kill that 3rd rocket, that's when your second break will begin. And just like the first break, once you kill 3 or 4 people, you're going to trigger the next wave of enemies. So as long as you don't kill 3 or 4 people, you can run around. You can we've played this before and just gotten up, putting the controller down, and, you know, walked off, as long as somebody's watching your other teammates and healing them. And if you're wondering what Drunk is doing way back there in that corner, what I was trying to say a minute ago is that we've got videos put up about how to get the Overseer trophy and how to just really easily murder this entire map on crushing and stuff. And so I'll show you what's going on from that perspective over there, give you like a boatload of other tips and tricks on glitching the AI and exploiting the spawn waves and the checkpoints and stuff like that. And let me see, he says, "I almost got it." You see that at the bottom of the screen? That's what triggers the final wave. After you kill 3 or 4 people in that last break, the 3rd and final wave of rockets will spawn. And it's always going to begin when Nate says, "I've almost got it." Sometimes he just says, "Almost got it." And so this wave has 6 rockets, but they spawn slowly. After the first rocket, 2 grabbers will spawn. And then you're just going to have 5 final rockets. So it's 6 rocket guys in total. So you see at the bottom of the screen, I've almost got it. That means we've killed our quota and spawned the last wave. That guy comes out on 6. He almost always comes out on 6, but I have seen him come out in different places. And then we got 2 grabbers. The first one's a regular grabber, non-armored. You want to dispatch these guys as quickly as you can, sorry, because if you're killing other enemies, then you can trigger more rocket guys too soon. And you see the armor grabber running up the steps now like a good little boy. And one thing I want to point out when you're trying to prolong the breaks is that Abstract blows his head to pieces. When you're trying to prolong the breaks, you do want to be careful with the throwback grenades. Throw them up in the air, okay? And I got an armored rocket guy spawning on 6. I got army of 3 that I activate, start popping them with my West 44, but Abstract takes them out with a headshot. That's cool. So you're basically going to have 3 of the rocket guys that spawn are going to be armored, and they will never spawn during that very first wave. They will spawn in some combination between the 2nd and the 3rd wave. And so I'm watching my windows, which are 5 and 6 are what I'm assigned right now. And I think in a minute here, Abstract gets a heavy armored guy on number 1, and then, or I don't know if he's armored, and then Drunk gets 1 on 3. So the statue did take a hit. But like I said, we've got a great video for you on how to get the Overseer trophy. And it helps knowing how these spawn waves play out. So thanks for watching. I hope that helps.